Going on YouTube, CB the Trucker, man. And today, this being my first video and all, I want to talk to new owner operators, guys that's thinking about becoming an owner operator, those who are already owner operators but with different companies. I just want to tell y'all about my experience with Landstar, as I am an owner op over here at Landstar. Haven't been here that long, only been here about 3 months, a little over 3 months now, but it's been great, I will say that. You hear me? So yeah, I started off with Swift Transportation. Shout out to Swift. I got my CDL through them, and I drove for Swift for about 1.5 years, man. And once I felt competent with my job, I could operate the truck to the best of my ability, the best of my experience at the time. And I just knew everything there was to know about being a company driver at Swift. I started planning my exit, you hear me? So I started looking into, owner op companies and just different carriers in general, not just, strictly owner operator companies, but just different companies in general, you know what I mean? Because I reached the point at Swift where I was at my cap. Like, I knew exactly how much money I'm gonna bring home or how much money I'm not gonna bring home. You know what I mean? I had the experience as far as, being OTR, going to every state, driving in the snow, in the mountains, putting chains on, taking them off, and all that old bullshit that comes along with being force dispatch, So, I did all that. I started planning my exit. You know what I'm saying? I started, when I would be at the truck stops, if I seen a driver awake in his truck, he just chilling, look, I'm going to pull up on him. You hear me? Go to his door, ask him, how you like the company, this and that. Because personally, I feel like you're going to get the best information from the drivers. So that's what I did, man. And this was about after I hit my, I was right at about 1 year at this time. I'm just interviewing drivers pretty much, seeing, just trying to get their take on whatever company they was driving with. And a company that kept coming across my radar was Landstar. Once you, get a little more experience and, you got some money, man, go buy your truck, whatever. So I started looking into Landstar more. I literally, every single driver I saw with Landstar, I pull up on him. Hey, man, tell me about Landstar. You hear me? And most of these guys, man, they be more than happy to tell you whatever the hell you want to know. A lot of them, they so eager, they so happy with their situation. They want to pull their phone out, show you how much they getting paid, all that. So I say after about the first 5 drivers, I was like, okay, Landstar seemed like it's the real deal. I continued talking to drivers, you know what I mean? I even called the recruiters a couple times to get information from them, just to see if it would reflect the same thing that I had been told. So, just continued asking drivers. Probably talked to about 50 Landstar drivers before I knew for a fact, like, that's the move. And the thing that really solidified it all for me was that the information was so consistent. Of every single company of, different drivers that I spoke with, the information about Landstar was extremely consistent, So that did it for me. I was, probably about my 13th month, I'd say, with Swift. I was like, man, it's time. Look, it's time to check out. It is time to check out. And that's shit. I started really preparing to leave. I had been saving up all of my money. My situation a little different from a lot of truckers, got the family and all that shit. I don't have none of that. Everything I have, I own. So at the time, my only expenses was on my personal vehicle, car insurance. You hear me? And like cell phone, little shit like that. So I saved up my money, and it was time to go get a truck. So that's what I did. But at the time, I was still nervous about the move, you know what I mean? Just speaking from the drivers that I had spoken to about Landstar, you know, it's you gotta dispatch yourself and you gotta book loads and this, that, and that. So I was kind of terrified, to be honest. Like, man, that's new. Like, I ain't never had to do all that, you know. With Swift, they send a load, run it. Before you get there, you got another one, sometime two, you know what I mean? So I never had to do that before. So what I decided to do was just lease my truck on at Swift. And I did, let's see, I ran my truck on with Swift for, I don't know, another 5-6 months, something like that. About 5 months, I think. Leased on with Swift. Had a little dedicated run that was pretty sweet. Wasn't making no ton of money, you hear me? After expenses, I could bring home anywhere from about $1,200 to $2,000, a little over $2,000 sometime. It just depends. Honestly got kind of lazy once I got this truck. You know, you can't tell me to go run no loads, so I'm not doing it. So yeah, you know, just pretty much got accustomed to running my truck. You know, getting an experience as far as how it is to be an owner-operator, where you accountable for everything that goes on with the truck. You know, getting the expenses together, you know, learning about fueling and all that shit. Got all that out of the way with Swift. Got to a point where I was pretty competent that once I leave here, I'll be successful wherever I go. So I contacted Landstar. They got me in at orientation. See, I went to orientation on a Monday. So orientation itself is 2 days, and it's pretty much all classroom. You know, the first day is pretty much death by PowerPoint. You know about that. It's just nothing but slideshows and, you know, different things of that nature. But it's real solid information. You know what I mean? Real good information that they're giving out, and it's a ton of information that they're passing to you in these 2 days. So, you know, the days are pretty long during orientation, but it's good information, a lot of, you know, information to help you be successful once you actually get out and get to running. And then on the third morning, because it's 2 days, but the third day you got to show up to go get put on a trailer list. You know what I'm saying? So you get on that trailer list, and then, I mean, if they got a trailer available immediately, you go pick your trailer up, hit the road. If not, then you gotta wait until they call you, let you know your trailer ready. At that same time, you know, they'll be installing like your Qualcomm. If you decide to get a Qualcomm from them, I did it. I decided to get it just because it's mine. You hear me? So anywhere I go from now on, this, you know, my Qualcomm comes with me. Actually, you actually buy it from them. So yeah, you get on that list and then you wait. I think I had to wait like a day and a half. So it was late Thursday by the time they told me. Well, so pretty much it was really just a day. It was late Thursday. They told me I had a trailer up in Tulsa, Oklahoma to go pick up. They gave me the fuel, the deadhead up there, you know, bobtail up there. And I picked my trailer up, man, and it's been on ever since. My first load, you know, I still remember, because I was nervous as shit calling this broker, you know what I mean? I ain't never had to negotiate and, you know, none of that stuff. But yeah, my first load was going from Tulsa, Oklahoma down to Marianna, Florida, which is about 900 miles or so, give or take. And the load paid $42.50. So just that, like, I was ecstatic. You hear me? You know, $4,200 for a single load. You know what I mean? 2-day transit. So pick it up, drop it the next day. 1-day transit, if you want to call it that. For $4,200. So obviously, them type of loads, honestly, they're kind of hard to come by. You're not gonna see many of them. And if you do, by the time you call on it, it's probably gonna be gone. I'm gonna tell you right now. They got dudes that just sit on that load board, refreshing the screen, just waiting for something new to pop up, and the minute it do, they done called on it. But yeah, so I got lucky my first load. That was a really good load, you know, short distance, real high on the pace. So I got lucky with that. And you know, it's just been business as usual since then, man. You know, I got the hang of everything. It is a little bit of a learning curve. You know what I mean? If you're coming from a company that dispatches you to coming over here to where you had to dispatch yourself, you know, a little bit of a learning curve, man. You know, not the hardest thing you're gonna ever do in your life, I promise, but you know, it can be a little interesting the first couple of days of doing it. But once you get the hang of it, man, sky's the limit. You know what I mean? And I know every YouTube trucker that's with Landstar gonna tell you the same thing, but this is really a great place, man, for the guys transitioning out of that mega carrier type environment to becoming a owner operator. I think this is probably the next, well, I mean, that's subjective to say it's probably the next best thing, but the next best move. But it is a really good move. You hear me? Obviously, you need to do your own research. Landstar may not work for you. You know what I'm saying? Give you a little bit of the rundown. We on percentage pay, which if you've been in the industry, I mean, obviously you should know that. They pay us percentage, 65% if you pull one of their drive-ins. And you know, the percentages go up based on different shit. So, you know, if you pull a reefer, it'd be a little different. If you do power only, it'd be a little different. Got your own trailer, so on and so forth. I pulled a trailer, you hear me? You know, I'm still paying on my truck. I got like 14 months left to pay on this damn truck. So I don't plan on going acquire any new bills. So I'm gonna pull a trailer until this trailer is, until my truck is paid off. You know, got to keep that overhead as low as possible. And but yeah, man, you know, I think if any of you guys debating Landstar, I think do your own research, like I said. But it's a great place, man. It is a really good place. Like, again, I've been here over 3 months. I haven't received a single call from Landstar about anything other than to tell me, you know, happy Thanksgiving. I got a call, somebody said, you know, telling me, you know, Merry Christmas. And then I got another call just pretty much thanking me for what I do and asking if I needed, you know, if I had any questions about anything. That's it. You know, ain't nobody calling you to see where you at or, you know, seeing how much home time you take. You know, I've been home for 2 weeks straight 2 weeks, and I haven't received a call from anybody about it. I've heard from other drivers, you know, if you decide to take too long, they'll call you, but it's only so you can give somebody else that need a trailer. You know, they might call you, hey, you need to up, you know, if you're gonna be home that long, you need to give up that trailer. You heard me? But other than that, you don't have no problem out of nobody, man. You know, you're not out here getting tickets. Definitely don't be out here getting tickets, because they don't play that shit. But it's a great place, man. Good place. A lot of resources, crazy discounts, you know, whether that be on tires and, you know, different maintenance and fuel. Actually, we get a pretty good discount on fuel. A lot better than I've seen some other places. So that's all things to think about. That all plays a difference in your bottom line. I know y'all probably see my little dog. See my little dog walking in the background. It's all good. But yeah, it's a good place, man. Real good place. So I just wanted to come give my 2 cents on that, man. I'm not gonna hold y'all no longer than that. If you like, I will be uploading more videos, so feel free to subscribe. Follow your boy on this journey. You know, I'll keep y'all updated on what I'm doing, what I got going on, and how things going for me over here. So with that, man, Hold on, man. This dude he about to bump my truck. But with that, man, y'all take it easy. I'll catch y'all next time.